Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your Royal Rumble 2018 review and results. And I'm happy to be coming on here, not ranting about Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. I am very, very happy to be coming on here with that news. I am. And I'm also happy coming out here with the news that the right people won the Royal Rumbles here tonight. It was Asuka and it was Shinsuke Nakamura. That's who should have won both Royal Rumbles, and you got it right. I'm very surprised to see that from WWE, that they actually got the winners right here tonight, but they did, and I'm glad because of that. This was not a flawless show. There were many points of this show where I was utterly bored, but in all, the Royal Rumble here tonight was definitely a thumbs up show. It really, really was a thumbs up show here tonight. The Royal Rumble match for the men was actually one of the best Royal Rumble matches that I think we've seen in a pretty long time, bro. I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura winning it. I was at the edge of my seat the entire time because I was scared that Roman Reigns was going to win it, as well as Rey Mysterio returning in that Royal Rumble, which was a big shock. It still wasn't a flawless Royal Rumble. It was far from it. The beginning was very flat. Really nothing in the beginning that really stuck out in my eye. The whack job elimination of Elias as soon as John Cena came in, which just leaves me wondering what the fate of Samoa Joe would have been if he didn't get injured, as well as just a bunch of overall garbage that happened in the Royal Rumble that happens all the time, like Dolph Ziggler coming in at number 30 to a huge surprise. He's back from relinquishing the United States Championship. What's Dolph Ziggler gonna do? Nothing. Just to get eliminated, not even being in the Final Four, was Dolph Ziggler. So that was absolutely ridiculous. If you ask me right there, it really, really was ridiculous right there. But, I mean, what are you gonna do about that? The Women's Royal Rumble, it was not bad. I mean, I do not know how you cannot be excited for a Royal Rumble, because I literally did not care about anything going on in that ring. But it's hard not to get caught up in the theatrics of a Royal Rumble match. It's hard not to get caught up in the mystery of who's coming out next and the 10 count. So for that, it was not bad. But realistically, I did not give a crap about anything I was seeing in that ring. Best part of that entire Women's Royal Rumble match was the encounter between Asuka and Ember Moon, because that's actually something that I am invested in, that there was actually storyline put into in NXT, and that just goes to show you, that's a prime example that goes to show you the difference between when you're invested in something and when something's just happening. Because imagine how great that Women's Royal Rumble would have been. They really didn't do anything too terrible. Again, it had its crap in there that I'm just like, what the hell were they thinking? For example, Dana Brooke eliminating Kairi Sane. Where's that decision coming from? Who made that decision? Why was it even necessary to give Dana Brooke an elimination? Nonetheless, Kairi Sane? What the hell? That was ridiculous. So clearly there was the whack job stuff that WWE does in every Royal Rumble. But if I actually would have been invested in what was going on in this Women's Royal Rumble, and it didn't feel like such pushed political agenda, I believe that I, quite frankly, would have enjoyed that Royal Rumble a hell of a lot more than I actually did. Because it's not like I was just sitting there with my arms crossed, angry at what was going on the entire time during the Women's Royal Rumble. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch simply because of the fact that it is the Royal Rumble, and they weren't necessarily doing anything too wrong in there. Like I said, Asuka won it. That's all you needed to do. If Asuka didn't win it, if Asuka got eliminated early, then I would have said to you, well, this was absolutely pointless. There was no reason to sit there for an hour watching these women go at it. And that would have been the case. that would have been the case, but Asuka won it. Asuka won it. So for that reason, I really can't come to you and complain about what we saw, but I will come to you and complain about the lead up to this, because this could have been a lot better. But you decided to push your women's title to the side in favor of pushing your forced political agenda in the Women's Royal Rumble. Literally, I saw a tweet here today that said that from WWE Creative Humor, who pretty much mocks everything that WWE does, and they pretend that they are WWE Creative, and the mindset of WWE Creative, clearly mocking it, and they said that the Women's Royal Rumble, they act like the Women's Royal Rumble is the most important thing to happen since women got the right to vote. That's literally how they act, and that I wouldn't even call that an exaggeration. I really wouldn't even call that an exaggeration. That's how WWE was acting, that this is the most important thing since women got the right to vote. That's literally how WWE was portraying this Women's Royal Rumble. And instead of putting actual storyline in place for these women, instead of actually building this Royal Rumble around every woman for herself, the over-the-top rope aspect, you decided to have all these women hold hands in the middle of the ring, and it's history, and it's revolutionary, and this has never been seen before, and that was all that was thrown in our faces. It really was. That is all that was thrown in our faces. And I'm sorry, but if you don't call that pathetic, then I don't know what you call it, bro. I mean, I really, really don't. I really, really don't. That was the build to this Women's Royal Rumble, and that's why I didn't care. For a lot of this matchup, I didn't care. The best parts of this matchup were the storylines in there that were already pre-existing. It was seeing Trish Stratus coming back at number 30, who we were invested in because it's Trish goddamn Stratus, and seeing her go face to face with Mickie James for the first time in a long time. It was seeing Beth Phoenix go in there with Nia Jax. It was seeing Lita come in and hit a moonsault off the top rope. That was the best part of this Women's Royal Rumble, because it wasn't things that WWE had built up around their current women. It wasn't things that WWE made us care about with their own storyline. It was things that we pre-existingly thought was great. Asuka versus Ember Moon. NXT, I thought that was great, and they completely capitalized on that in the Women's Royal Rumble and made probably the best moment in the entire match right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's where this Women's Royal Rumble shined. But as far as seeing a Bayley come in, nobody gave a crap. I didn't give a crap. As far as seeing a Sasha Banks in there for 50 plus minutes being the Iron Woman of this match, I didn't care. You give me no reason to care about Sasha Banks. She's been Women's Champion 4 times, yet hasn't defended her title successfully once. How am I supposed to care about Sasha Banks? I don't. Naomi pulling the Kofi Kingston in this Royal Rumble and coming back in and walking on the barricade and doing this cool spot with the chair. Oh my god. I don't care. Because you didn't build up Naomi at all. There's no interest in Naomi. I mean, goddamn, bro. Goddamn. Becky Lynch got eliminated in this Royal Rumble. I was quite butthurt about that because I'm saying, well, Becky Lynch should have been there at the end. Becky Lynch should have been there at the end. They should have played a Becky Lynch and Asuka instead of what they ended up doing. But Becky Lynch got eliminated and nobody cared. First of all, she hasn't been on television in weeks, and you haven't done anything to build up Becky Lynch. She has no momentum. So that's where this Rumble fell flat. It also fell flat in the ending. Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, along with Asuka as your final 3 survivors. Yeah, Brie Bella is going to win the Royal Rumble. It was clear from that moment that Asuka was going to win. You could have at least made it unpredictable. And as far as Ronda Rousey coming in at the end, first of all, WWE completely messed up the camera there. It looked ridiculous, but and good job, Kevin Dunn. Beaver Tooth. Anyways, that's besides the point. I was gonna say a curse word, but this is YouTube. Can't do that. Can't do that here. Anyways, Ronda Rousey coming out. First of all, really? Really? Instead of entering the Women's Royal Rumble, she comes out afterwards, points at the WrestleMania sign, and all of a sudden she is hanging with Asuka, Charlotte, and Alexa, who were in the middle of that ring. Are you kidding me? Why wasn't Ronda Rousey in the Rumble? I understand you wanted Asuka to win it. I get it. You wanted Asuka to win it, and you wanted to have Ronda Rousey and the come in, be special. And if you weren't going to have Ronda Rousey win the Rumble, and if you weren't going to have Asuka win the Royal Rumble, it would have been a problem. Because Ronda Rousey debuting and not winning the Royal Rumble would have fallen flat. But Ronda Rousey debuting and surpassing Asuka to win the Royal Rumble is not something people would have been happy about. The minute Asuka got eliminated, there would have been some backlash there. A lot of backlash there, actually. So the best way to do it is to have Ronda Rousey come out afterwards. I get that. But to proclaim that she is in the hunt with these women just because she's Ronda Rousey, that makes no sense, honey. You have not done anything to earn a spot at WrestleMania. You can't just come into the WWE and proclaim yourself at the top. Again, it was being made fun of. Well, you didn't have to compete in a match. You didn't have to step in the ring. All you need to do is point at the sign. And there you go, WrestleMania. Is that what they're going to do here? Is that what they're going to do here? I can see WWE doing Ronda versus Asuka at like the Elimination Chamber or some crap like that, and having Asuka be defeated by Ronda Rousey for the first time, and Ronda takes Asuka's Royal Rumble spot. I can totally see that, bro. I can, and that sounds scary. It really, really does. I do not like that at all, bro. What I say you do is that WWE made it so you can pick either brand. You can either pick the SmackDown Women's Championship or you can pick the Raw Women's Championship. So it was a choice here tonight. Clearly, Shinsuke Nakamura immediately took AJ Styles. I don't know why you want to go for Brock Lesnar, and the dream match is AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke said it right away, right after the match. They were teasing doing it with Asuka at the end of the night, and both Alexa Bliss and Charlotte were standing in the middle of the ring, and it seemed like she was going to make her choice, but Ronda's music hit, and that shook everything up. You don't know what's going to happen there. You don't. So I'm saying that WWE, they did it this year, that you can pick from either brand for a reason. I think Asuka is challenging Charlotte, because why would they have even played up the fact? Why would they have even played up the fact that you can pick from either brand if they weren't going to have one of the winners pick from either brand? So what I'm saying is going to happen is Asuka's going to pick Charlotte, and maybe that will clear Ronda to go into WrestleMania against Alexa into a squash match, because it would be easy to squash Alexa. You don't want to squash Charlotte, and you don't want to squash Asuka, clearly. But to go against Alexa, as my Echo Dot turns on, because I'm saying Alexa, but I mean, to squash Alexa, you really don't have to do much. She's small, it makes sense. She's the cowardly heel, it makes sense. So to have Asuka build against Charlotte and to have Ronda go against Alexa, I think that makes a lot more sense to me. And I think that's the way WWE wants to go about it. And that's why they played up the fact that you can pick from either brand. Because if they played up that fact this year and literally Asuka's going to just challenge Alexa and Charlotte is going to go against Rousey, I mean, makes no sense to me. And you got to fit Rousey in there somewhere. I know the dream match is Charlotte versus Rousey, but maybe they'll put that to the side to go with Asuka versus Charlotte, which is also a dream match. So I don't know which way they're going to go about it. They certainly have options now. They certainly have options, but you gotta put Rousey in a match before she does go against either champion at WrestleMania, because clearly she's going to be in a championship match at WrestleMania. That's clear. But, I mean, you got to have her in a match before that, because how garbage will it be that you have this entire women's division, yet Rousey just gets to come in and challenge? Again, she just gets to come in, she points at the sign, and there you go, championship match. It makes no sense to me. It damn sure doesn't make any sense to you either. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really have to say for initial thoughts on these Royal Rumble matches. Clearly, we will go over everything that happened in these matches. And, I mean, it was the Royal Rumble. A lot happened. I'm just glad that I'm coming out of here and this show was not a negative. I'm glad. There were certainly down portions of this show. I mean, my biggest gripe with this show was the fact that they had the audacity to put the women's Royal Rumble last instead of the men's Royal Rumble. What you should have done is started with the women's Royal Rumble and started by making your history, right? And then the end is the men's Royal Rumble. And I'll tell you why. Because what happened after that men's Royal Rumble came to a conclusion? The Sheamus and Cesaro versus Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins match, the crowd was completely dead. They were in silence, bro. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan and the Bar, they got shafted, bro. They really did, and I feel bad for them. And that's what happens when you put a Royal Rumble match in the middle of your show. It is a show closing match. It is. That is what it is. And at least if you would have put a Royal Rumble match to start the show, the crowd is still hot at the start of the show. They are. Instead of putting it in the middle where they've already expended some of their resources to AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and the Smackdown Tag Team Championship match, and now they're at a Royal Rumble, they're going to be burnt out. They are. For a second there, I thought WWE was going to do Royal Rumble match back to back. But on top of that, that's not my only problem with the burning out of the crowd. But at the same time, I have a problem with WWE disrespecting the lineage of the men's Royal Rumble. I mean, does the men's Royal Rumble mean nothing anymore? I mean, this Royal Rumble has gone on last for how many goddamn years? How many years has the men's Royal Rumble gone on last? And now there's this women's Royal Rumble, and you all of a sudden want to go on last? Shinsuke Nakamura isn't important enough? Oh, no, it's not. If Roman Reigns would have won the Rumble, though, I'm sure the men would be on last, right? Right? My God. Probably not even then, because they don't want to send home the crowd with the boos. They don't want to end their show with the boos. They don't. But, of course, Roman Reigns, we know he's still going into WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. That doesn't mean we're out of the fire just yet. That does not mean that Elimination Chamber's still there. I mean, the one reason that I thought that Roman Reigns wasn't going to win the Royal Rumble, and the reason that I thought it made no sense, despite the fact that I was still very worried, as concerned as everybody else, but one reason that I just knew in the back of my head that Roman Reigns wasn't going to win the Royal Rumble is because at the Elimination Chamber, realistically, you look at the Elimination Chamber, and you know Brock Lesnar's not going to come out and defend his Universal Championship in an Elimination Chamber match. So what was the Elimination Chamber going to be based on? The only other thing to do it in is for the number one contendership to WrestleMania. And if a Raw superstar won the number one contendership to WrestleMania, then realistically, what are you going to have the Elimination Chamber over? Because you're not going to have Lesnar defend his championship. Lesnar's done until WrestleMania, lads. You got to get ready for that news coming very, very soon, right? Lesnar's going to WrestleMania. That's the next time we see Lesnar in a matchup. That's it. Lesnar's done. Lesnar is done for 4 months. There you go. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we will get into the full coverage of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view very, very soon. But, of course, I want to tell you all to make sure to go check out all the other content right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. This was a big week for content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Of course, you had your Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews to start the week. It was Raw 25 this week, and of course, you had Smackdown, your go-home show to this very pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble. Raw 25, of course, had nothing to do with the Royal Rumble, even though it was a quote-unquote go-home show. It had nothing to do with the Royal Rumble. It had more to do with bullshit. And we discussed that on the Raw 25 review that was uploaded on Monday, as well as your Royal Rumble preview predictions if you want to see my mindset going into this very pay-per-view. and of course your NXT TakeOver Philadelphia preview and predictions if you want to see my mindset going into that pay-per-view. And of course, don't forget NXT TakeOver Philadelphia review. That was an amazing show. Once again, NXT TakeOver was definitely better than what we saw tonight. This Royal Rumble, I might be coming out of it with a more positive attitude than normal. If I had to give this show a rating, it'd probably be a 6 to a 5.5 out of 10. But, I mean, realistically, I would not call this show better than what we seen last night at Philadelphia, where we saw probably the match of the decade. That's what I'm calling it now. Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. My God, that's probably the best NXT match I've ever seen. That's what we saw last night on the show, as well as a damn good matchup. They pulled it off with Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler, as well as what they did with the street fight and Adam Cole and Aleister Black. Amazing street fight right there. That's just what NXT puts on. So make sure to go check out the NXT TakeOver Philadelphia review. If you do not watch NXT, I highly recommend you watch NXT. I don't know what you're doing only watching the main roster. You're poisoning yourself, bro. I don't even know how you like wrestling if all you watch is Raw and Smackdown. I don't. But I mean, NXT is what keeps me going. Make sure to go check out the NXT TakeOver Philadelphia review. And of course, make sure to comment what you thought of the Royal Rumble tonight, because your opinion is just as important as mine. And I want to know what you guys thought. Did you guys like this pay-per-view? Did you guys not like this pay-per-view? I want to know. So leave it in the comment sections below, because for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going straight into the Royal Rumble pay-per-view review and results. And of course, we're going to start with the men's Royal Rumble match. We're going to go all the stuff that happened in this matchup. And first, we're going to go over the entry order of this Royal Rumble. There were some entry orders that I, of course, had a problem with, because, I mean, why the hell is Titus O'Neil coming out at 25? It makes no sense to me. But, number 1 was Rusev, and I liked number 1 and 2. First of all, number 2 was Finn Balor. Finn Balor was the Iron Man of this Royal Rumble, and that's good, because if Finn Balor didn't have anything to do in this Royal Rumble and he just came in to get eliminated, it really would have made no sense. They highlighted Finn Balor in this Royal Rumble. He was part of the Final Four, and I liked that. I really did. They did good by Finn Balor. Rusev, I love the fact that he came out at number 1, because that gave him his introduction, and that popped the crowd. That started off the Rumble hot, because everybody is hot for Rusev Day. So it started off well. It did start off well. Number 3 was Rhino. I mean, what do I got to say about Rhino? I didn't even know he had theme music. I thought his theme music was Heath Slater, but no, Rhino came in the Royal Rumble. Then you had Baron Corbin coming in. Baron Corbin, the way they handled Baron Corbin was nice, because Baron Corbin is one of those big men, you expect him to eliminate a lot of people. So, as soon as Baron Corbin eliminated Rhino, Corbin got eliminated by Balor, and he eliminated pretty much, or he went on a rage. He went on the rage that they love to do with Baron Corbin. He gets embarrassed, he loses his opportunity, and what does he do? He takes out Finn Balor, hits the end of days on Rusev, and he completely beats the crap out of the next entrant, Heath Slater, and for a while it's like a running joke. Everybody's coming in, and Heath Slater is getting knocked down. Now clearly, by the looks of it, the beginning of this Rumble wasn't anything too exciting. It really did not get too exciting until the end, where they had you on the complete edge of your seat. So the beginning of this Rumble isn't anything too special. Elias comes out. He wants to put on a show for you. He's like, the timer's going to stop while I play my show. The timer does not stop. And the next entrant is something that made me very, very happy. It was Andrade Cien Almas. When he came out, I popped huge. Andrade Cien Almas, your current NXT champion. I had a lot of fun watching that. Anyways, the next entrant was Bray Wyatt. And by the way, each time somebody would come down, they'd kick Heath Slater. That was pretty funny. The next entrant was Bray Wyatt. I mean, it's Bray Wyatt. How am I supposed to care about Bray Wyatt at this point in time? The next entrant was Big E. Again, Big E, part of the New Day. Why am I supposed to care about them? This is where they were getting those underwhelming entrants out of the way, clearly for the end. The next entrant was number 10. Guess who this one was going to be? It was going to be Ty Dillinger. But then they pulled the bullshit. They pulled the bullshit. They had to, right? Despite the fact that earlier in the night, Sami Zayn was in a Royal Rumble WWE Championship matchup, he still got to enter the Royal Rumble match. You've got to be kidding me, bro. You really do. So Ty Dillinger was supposed to come in, but Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens attacked Ty Dillinger backstage. And the one thing that you have to note here is that Kevin Owens was like, alright, I'm going to go. And then Sami Zayn was like, nope, I got this. So keep that in mind. That can be a little small seed of tension that they used that could possibly break up Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So keep that one in mind right there. But besides that, Sami Zayn really did nothing in this matchup. He really did nothing in this matchup. So why did you have to break the rules and have Sami Zayn, despite him being in a WWE Championship matchup and essentially getting 2 shots at the WWE Championship tonight, because if you win the Royal Rumble, you get a shot at the WWE Championship, then instead of having Ty Dillinger just come in, you had to break the rules for no reason. That made absolutely no sense to me. WWE needs to stop doing that. They did it last year with Reigns, and clearly that destroyed the entire Royal Rumble last year. People were furious at that, and it's damn sure something to be furious about. It is damn sure something to be furious about. But, I mean, Sami Zayn got eliminated uneventfully by, I believe, Shinsuke Nakamura, actually, who came in later on. But Sheamus was the next entrant, and he got eliminated right away. I think Sheamus set a new record. Santino Marella holds the record, right? I think Sheamus set a new record because he entered the ring, and he threw Heath Slater back in, but Heath Slater, as soon as Sheamus got in the ring, clotheslined him out. And then the next entrant was Heath Slater. He just got thrown out by Bray Wyatt. So there you go with that one. And it was really nothing to look forward to. Again, this Royal Rumble, actually, something about it, it felt like the entrants, at least in the beginning portion, were going very quickly in this Royal Rumble. It seemed like they were coming out just like that. They weren't even waiting the 90 seconds that was slotted this year. And last year they did 2 minutes. I don't know why the hell they changed it back to 90 seconds. Probably because last year the ramp was way longer, so they did the 2 minutes. So I don't know. But this year they went back to the 90 seconds, and it felt way less than 90 seconds. It felt like the wrestler would come in, do their spot, and bada boom shakalaka. There you go with that one. The next countdown starts. That's what I felt like. The next entrant after Sheamus was Xavier Woods. Then you had Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews really didn't last too long here. He uneventfully got eliminated by Cesaro, just so you could give Cesaro an elimination there. And I'm really not against that at all. The next entrant at number 14 was Shinsuke Nakamura. And that had me really worried. I'm like, crap, Shinsuke Nakamura is coming out at 14. That is not a number that they usually win from in the Royal Rumble. I mean, usually it's a good number, like 27, or you come out at number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 5. Those are the good numbers. It's either 1 through 5 or like 22 and up right there. Any of those middle numbers, I find those numbers extremely weird. Or if you get like 17, 18, or 19, those are the good numbers. If you get anything between 17 and number 5, I immediately think, yeah, you're not winning. And Nakamura, he was square in the middle of that. He got this weird-ass number, 14. Yet he ended up winning. And I'm shocked. WWE went with 2 Japanese superstars this year. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. I didn't think WWE would do it correctly. But Shinsuke Nakamura, as soon as he came in, he eliminated Sami Zayn. Then the Crews elimination happened. Then it was Cesaro who came in. Really just eliminated Crews. You wanted an elimination for Cesaro, so there you go. Then it was Kofi Kingston who came in, so that's 2 members of the New Day, or I believe, yeah, that's all the members of the New Day. So all the members of the New Day at this point were in this match. So Jinder Mahal was the next entrant out here, and clearly I groaned at this. Jinder Mahal in 2017 had one of the worst years as WWE champion, probably of all time. Probably the worst WWE champion of all time was Jinder Mahal. So Jinder Mahal, he pretty much came in here to eliminate the entirety of the New Day. That's exactly what he did, actually. He eliminated Xavier Woods first, then he eliminated Big E. He tossed Big E over the top, and the next person that he tried to eliminate was actually Kofi Kingston. He tried to eliminate Kofi Kingston. He threw Kofi Kingston over the top, but Kofi Kingston's leg actually landed on Xavier Woods. Then they had the pancakes. They put the pancakes under Kofi Kingston, right? So he was catapulted into the ring, hopped right back in the ring, and he eliminated Jinder Mahal. But besides that, really nothing else. Really nothing else. Kingston, right after that, got eliminated by Andrade Cien Almas. And I popped for that. Andrade Cien Almas with an elimination in this match. Hit a beautiful hammerlock DDT on Kofi Kingston, and he was out of there. The next entrant out was Seth Rollins after Jinder Mahal. Seth Rollins actually eliminated Cesaro in beautiful fashion. He eliminated Cesaro. He used both his legs and threw him over the top. Cesaro flew. The athleticism of Cesaro is crazy. The next entrant out was Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy was at number 19. And Matt Hardy came in here, and clearly the person he went right after was Bray Wyatt. They had a stare down in the middle of the ring, and what did they do? Rusev got in between them. So actually, they worked together and took out Rusev. Wyatt then went into whoever the hell it was. He went into Almas, I believe, and took him down. And then finally, they started brawling in the middle of the ring, and they started brawling in the middle of the ring, and they both eliminated each other. So Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt eliminated each other in the Royal Rumble. John Cena was the next entrant out at number 20, and this is when I started shivering. I mean, John Cena is in the goddamn Royal Rumble. My God. Again, one of the rumored favorites to win it and go on to WrestleMania and get his 17th title win. So I was scared. I was shaking. As soon as John Cena came out, that is when the butterflies in the stomach started. And John Cena, like I said, immediately came out and eliminated Elias. The next entrant out was a surprise Royal Rumble entrant. This one surprised the hell out of me. It was the Hurricane. And he came in, stared straight in the face of John Cena, started doing his pose, and John Cena just stared at him and eliminated him. He eliminated him, and I'm like, oh my God. This is already looking like a John Cena Royal Rumble. My God, this is not going to be good. The next entrant out was Aiden English at 22. Really did not do anything in this match. I feel like this was just a waste of an entrant, was Aiden English. Really, what everybody wanted to see was Rusev. They got Rusev at number 1. Why was Aiden English needed here? He just got eliminated by Finn Balor pretty uneventfully, might I add. And then the next person out was somebody who, again, I popped for because they're from NXT. It was Adam Cole, baby! No doubt I popped for Adam Cole big time in this matchup. He did some cool stuff in this matchup. Tangoed in there with Finn Balor a little bit. You already know. Adam Cole was in there for a little bit. I think he was in there for like 20 minutes at least. I'm not sure how long Adam Cole was in there. But it was nice to see him in there. No doubt about it, bro. The next entrant out was number 24, and it was Randy Orton. And Orton came in, and he immediately started RKOing everybody. Led to probably one of the most beautiful spots of this Royal Rumble. It was the high-flying, of course, Andrade Cien Almas, your NXT champion, surprisingly still NXT champion, one night after that amazing matchup with Johnny Gargano. Again, if you don't watch NXT, recommend you go back and watch it. Oh my God. Oh my God. But Andrade Cien Almas went from the top rope straight into an RKO. I believe he was going for some type of springboard move. Went straight into the RKO. And Orton just said bye-bye, almost threw him right over the top. And like I said, waste of an entrant here. At number 25, Titus O'Neil. We just saw that beautiful spot with Randy Orton. That's awesome, right? And Titus O'Neil comes out? What is he doing in there at this point? Literally, what is he doing in there at this point? And the next entrance was The Miz, and clearly he was in there to tango it up with Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns did get in that ring. 27 was Rey Mysterio, and I was shocked. I'm like, damn, Rey Mysterio's back, and Rey Mysterio looked fantastic, bro. He looked skinnier than ever, bro. He looked smaller than ever did Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio looked absolutely fantastic here tonight, and he was high-flying like it was his first night on the job, bro. I saw no slowdown in Rey Mysterio. He actually came right in and unfortunately eliminated Adam Cole, baby. A sad one there, because he should have realistically eliminated Titus O'Neil. What was Titus O'Neil doing in that Rumble? He should have served as a little elimination for, for Rey Mysterio, but of course not. Of course not. The next entrant out was the worst entrant out. It was Roman Reigns, and this is when I was at the edge of my seat. I was shivering, my leg was shivering, my arm was shivering. I was just a shaking machine, bro. And Roman Reigns eliminated Titus O'Neil. Clearly they got to give Roman Reigns the elimination of Titus O'Neil. Roman Reigns actually eliminated 4 guys in this goddamn Royal Rumble, and he was number 28. Of course, they gotta give Roman Reigns all the eliminations. They gotta make Roman Reigns look strong, right? They gotta make Roman Reigns look strong. He encountered The Miz. They, of course, went at it. The Miz was about to eliminate Roman Reigns after hitting a skull-crushing finale, because Roman Reigns was tangoing it up with somebody else, and Roman Reigns, Miz was saved by the Miz-Taraj, right? While Roman Reigns was trying to eliminate The Miz, and Roman Reigns hit the Superman punches on the Miz-Taraj. And he finally eliminated The Miz, revenge, because he lost his Intercontinental Championship, right? I bet he's not going to rematch for that Intercontinental Championship, because he has his sights on the Universal Championship, right? Right? Anyways, the next elimination of Roman Reigns was actually Seth Rollins. The Miz was about to eliminate Seth Rollins, was about to eliminate Roman Reigns, but Seth Rollins helped Roman Reigns out a little bit there. So what does Roman Reigns do? He eliminates Seth Rollins out of nowhere, and Seth Rollins didn't even get pissed off. He just started smiling. Like, alright, I see what you did there. Every man for himself. Blah, blah, blah. So, the next entrant, again, why the hell was this guy at number 29, where your most exciting entrant should be coming out? It was Goldust. What was Goldust doing in there so late in the match? Do not ask me. Goldust got eliminated by the next entrant, number 30, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler. Can you believe it? Dolph Ziggler in the Royal Rumble matchup. Oh my god, this was actually a rumor. Dolph Ziggler was going to come back in the Royal Rumble after relinquishing his United States Championship. Maybe Dolph Ziggler's going to win it. Nope. Nope. He literally comes in, eliminates Goldust, and gets eliminated out of nowhere by Finn Balor. Gets eliminated out of nowhere by Finn Balor. Are you kidding me? That is what you wanted to do with the angle of Dolph Ziggler relinquishing his United States Championship and staying off of television? That's all? You didn't even have this guy in the Final Four? That's it? Oh my god, bro. So Ziggler was out of there. That left 6. And it was Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and John Cena. The old generation. Then it was Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor, and Roman Reigns, the new generation. So they were signaling that this is the end of the Royal Rumble match. Holy shit, what is going to happen in this scenario? Now, I was scared because clearly John Cena and Roman Reigns were still there. I did not want John Cena and Roman Reigns to be in this goddamn matchup, and neither did Philly, bro. They did not want Roman Reigns to win. And by the way, Philly was fantastic here tonight, like they always are. I don't think that even needs to be mentioned, bro. They were great. They were great, bro. So it was the old generation versus the new generation. The old generation stood tall. It was Randy Orton hitting an RKO. It was, I believe, on Shinsuke Nakamura, the RKO. John Cena AA'd, whoever the hell he was in there against. And Roman Reigns got 619. John Cena AA'd Finn Balor, and Roman Reigns took a 619. So the old generation stands tall, and that leads to the elimination. I actually don't remember how, of Randy Orton, and that was actually done by Roman Reigns. I believe Reigns speared Randy Orton and sent him packing. That led to the elimination of Rey Mysterio by Finn Balor. Again, I don't remember how Rey Mysterio got eliminated, and that left four. Finn Balor, who had been rumored arguably the least to win this matchup, but there were still small rumors of Finn Balor winning the Royal Rumble match and going to challenge AJ Styles, not Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles. And that actually would have fit in with what they announced. That you can choose either champion. So you would have clearly had Finn Balor choose AJ Styles, and then they relived their matchup from TLC, which WWE was very high on. So maybe that was a possibility. Then, of course, you had Shinsuke Nakamura, my favorite to win it all. And then you had John Cena and Roman Reigns, who clearly I was shivering, bro. I was at the edge of my seat. I was going to faint at this point. The fact that they were still both here. But I will tell you this. They got the Final Four absolutely correct. And they got the winner even more correct. First one out of there was Balor. Balor was eliminated by John Cena. So that makes sense. Balor had been in there since number 2. He was the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble. They did justice by Finn Balor. He was in there for a while, tangoing it up with Shinsuke Nakamura, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. They had Roman Reigns and John Cena beat up Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor. And then John Cena and Roman Reigns would stare off, and the crowd would chant, "You both suck! You both suck!" And it was actually hilarious, because there was this one guy in the crowd, if you look, and he had his middle fingers out, and he was like, "You both suck!" He was saying it so adamantly, and you know what? I was saying it adamantly here at home, because I did not want these two guys to win. But, to say the least, Cena was then eliminated by Nakamura. That was to my delight. And that left 2. It was Roman Reigns, and it was Shinsuke Nakamura. They had you at the edge of your seat. They had you biting your nails. They had you saying, "Oh my God, Roman Reigns is going to win it." And they had you saying, "Yes, Shinsuke Nakamura's still in this. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do it." Multiple times here. And it was a great way to end the Royal Rumble when Shinsuke Nakamura did finally eliminate Roman Reigns. They had Roman Reigns hit a spear, and I said, "My God, this is over." They had Nakamura hit the Kinshasa and toss Reigns out. That's how it should have been. This is exactly how it needed to go, and they did exactly that. They ended the Royal Rumble exactly how it needed to be ended. WWE did justice by Shinsuke Nakamura. I just wish this would have gone on at the end, bro. This should have gone on at the end. This was the correct way to end the night. Yet you put the women in that position instead. I don't get it. I don't get why you would disrespect the lineage of the Men's Royal Rumble, but WWE wants to create history. So what are you going to do about that, right? What are you going to do about that? And speaking of the women's matchup, we're going to get to that very, very soon. But let me just celebrate for a moment, because AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, what should be your main event at WrestleMania, is going to go down at WrestleMania. WWE Championship on the line. Just the way that Shinsuke Nakamura was interviewed after the matchup, and he said, AJ Styles is who I pick to go up against. That had me out of my seat, bro. I was so happy to hear that, bro. They're doing justice to us, who are going to be absolutely blowing our brains off when it's Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania as well. For now, we're actually going to cover everything else that happened on the show, and then we're going to go to the Women's Royal Rumble. It was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles. And what can I say? This was a fine way to start off the show. Again, not how I would have started off the show, but only AJ Styles can make a handicap match good. There was a beautiful spot here where Kevin Owens monkey flipped AJ Styles into Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles turned it into a Hurricane Rana. Beautiful spot right there. There was a nice near fall where Owens got a super kick and Styles took a Blue Thunder Bomb, and it was a near fall because Zayn won against AJ Styles on Tuesday, just this past week, with the Blue Thunder Bomb. Styles hit a phenomenal forearm on Zayn, but Owens broke it up. That was another near fall. In the end, it was Sami Zayn who missed a hot tag on Owens and got tossed to the outside. Owens came in despite being the illegal man and super kicked AJ Styles, who and was about to hit a pop-up powerbomb, but Styles rolled him up and got the 3 count to retain despite Owens being the illegal man. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that up. Maybe they're going to do the triple threat at the Fastlane pay-per-view. I don't know. But, I mean, clearly that's going to be played up on Smackdown. There was a backstage segment where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were yelling at Shane McMahon, saying, "Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?" And Shane McMahon just said, "Yep." So, that's clearly going to be played up on SmackDown. That's clearly going to be where the Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon storyline goes from there. But besides that, this matchup wasn't by any means the greatest thing of all time. It was barely good, and clearly that was because AJ Styles did some good stuff in this matchup. It was an alright matchup, but honestly, nothing that you are even going to be remembering. If you ask me, what should have been in this matchup was Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. Instead, they decided to give us a handicap match for some reason, and there you go with that. There's really not much else that I can say about this. They're clearly going to play up on the fact that AJ Styles did not beat the legal man on SmackDown, and that's going to cause more bickering between Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. But besides that, there's really not much else to say. We go to Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Usos. This was a good match, and it never got to go to great because it should have gone longer. There was a super near fall where Benjamin buckle bombed one Uso onto the other and hit the pay dirt, yet they were able to kick out. That was a great spot in the matchup. The Usos also hit double super kicks in the splash, but Chad Gable was still able to kick out for another great near fall. You had the first fall come when Chad Gable took 2 super kicks and then a double super kick for the Usos to get the pin. And the end just came abruptly. All right, they took a while to get to the first fall. This looks like it's going to be good. The second fall comes like immediately after. The ending, it came very surprisingly. When Benjamin and Gable, they pretty much had the advantage. They took out the Usos, one of the Usos outside with the Steiner Special, and they were about to take out the other Uso. It was Chad Gable who hit a wheelbarrow kick, and it looked like they were going to go for the Steiner Special again, but they were getting ready for it, and Benjamin got rolled up, and just like that, it was over. This could have been a good matchup. It looked like it was about to go into that great territory, but it only went 2 falls. A 2 out of 3 falls match goes to 3 falls. That's just the way it goes. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin should have gotten a cover. Didn't happen. Did not happen. I don't know what else to say besides that. I really didn't care about this matchup going into it. I didn't, but that's what they did. And I can't say I agree with it. This could have been a good matchup. And it just got completely thrown to the wayside. So I don't know about that. We go to the Bar versus Rollins and Jordan. This was after the 30-man Royal Rumble match. And the crowd, what can I say? They were absolutely dead for this matchup. This is what happens when you put the Royal Rumble match before the main event. It's a show-closing match for a reason. Anyways, this match was decent, but I didn't get into it. I was completely taking notes on the 30-man Royal Rumble match. That's what I was doing during this entire matchup. And this is nothing that you haven't seen before anyways. The story here was that Jason Jordan, he got taken out of the equation very early in this matchup after going into the ring post, and it looks like he suffered some type of concussion or something. So it was pretty much Rollins alone in this matchup, and that didn't last because he took a bro kick to finish the match, and he took the bar's finisher, and it was all over. Jason Jordan got tagged in at one point in this matchup, and he just tagged Rollins right back. And that seems like it's building dissension between Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins because they did lose the tag team titles here. I mean, what? I mean, really? I can't say I gave a crap because honestly, who cares? Who cares, bro? The Bar, how many times have they won the titles at this point? The Raw Tag Team division is terrible. It is. It's literally flip-flopping titles between the same two teams. It's ridiculous. So it seems like they're building towards the Jason Jordan Seth Rollins WrestleMania match. I don't know where they're going here. I don't. Quite frankly, I don't care. I don't care. We went to Brock Lesnar versus Kane versus Braun Strowman, and this was a good match. This was a fun match, I should say. Not even good match. I mean, it was more chaotic than I expected it to be. I mean, Brock Lesnar didn't just take the table bump and sleep for 15 minutes and come in and hit an F5. He actually wrestled a little bit. He took a table spot, got power slammed through tables. This time around, he did the F5 on Braun Strowman through the announce table, and then through the other announce table on Braun Strowman, and then he proceeded to F5 Kane through the third announce table. That was cool. Kane, I mean, really didn't do anything in this matchup. I don't think Kane had a single moment to shine. He hit a couple choke slams. He hit Braun Strowman with a chair a couple times, but besides that, realistically, Kane didn't do much in this matchup. Kane did not do much in this matchup, and in the end, it was predictable. It was predictable the entire time. Brock Lesnar retained the championship. He's going to WrestleMania. He's going to WrestleMania with the Universal Championship. And in the end, it was Braun Strowman who yelled at Brock Lesnar saying, "You didn't pin me. You didn't pin me." And I like that they did that because it's reminding. Hey, yeah, Braun Strowman's still a monster. He did not get pinned. It was Kane who took an F5 and lost this matchup. But in the end, how am I supposed to care? It was alright. It was fun. Brock Lesnar did more than you thought he was going to. They went through tables, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, we all know what the result is going to be. And that's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. And I don't like that result whatsoever. It was predictable, and I got more out of this than I expected. But for now, let's go into what counts here, and that is the coverage of the Women's Royal Rumble match. Alright, the Women's Royal Rumble match. So number one here was Sasha Banks, and she was actually the Iron Woman of the Royal Rumble. I enjoyed the fact that Sasha Banks was the Iron Woman, but again, I didn't care that much. Number two was Becky Lynch. She didn't really do much here. She was in there for like 30 minutes, but got eliminated uneventfully. Sarah Logan, I don't care. Mandy Rose, I don't care. Lita at number 5. That I popped for. Everybody popped for that. Lita actually got the first elimination here of Mandy Rose, and Lita looked good. Lita looked very good. She hit a DDT, moonsault onto both Bayley and Sasha after she hit them both with twists of fates. She did a goddamn moonsault. Lita looks great. Lita looks like she could still step in that ring and compete with these women on a weekly basis. The same thing with Trish Stratus, who came in at number 30. Number 6, again I popped. It was Kairi Sane. It was Kairi Sane. And she came out here, and again, she got eliminated uneventfully. Tamina, I don't care. She got eliminated by Lita as well. So good for Lita. Got 2 eliminations. Tamina looked terrible. She was wearing this white outfit. She looked god-awful. Number 8, Dana Brooke, who for some reason eliminated Kairi Sane in this Royal Rumble. We will get to that. Number 9 was Tori Wilson. Tori Wilson looks fantastic. What else can I say? She still looks as beautiful as ever. Lita was eliminated by Becky Lynch sometime in this matchup. Like I said, Kairi Sane was eliminated by Dana Brooke. Absolutely god-awful. Why? Dana Brooke was later eliminated by Tori Wilson. Good for Tori Wilson. Sonya Deville, I don't care. Liv Morgan, I don't care. Anyways, Wilson was eliminated by Deville. That was garbage. Logan got eliminated by the next entrant, Molly Holly. Molly Holly in this Royal Rumble. It was great to see her again. Another one. Molly Holly looks absolutely fantastic. Lana, I don't care. Lana's terrible. Michelle McCool, Undertaker's wife, one half of Lay Cool. She was in this Rumble, looked absolutely fantastic, like she hasn't spent a day out of this ring. And Michelle McCool went to work in this Royal Rumble. This surprised the hell out of me. She eliminated Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan, Molly Holly, and Lana, all in a big spur of offense. I don't know why they gave Michelle McCool all this offense, but it was great. She actually got the most eliminations in this Rumble match. She'll get one more elimination, and we will talk about that. Number 15 was Ruby Riott. I care a little bit because Ruby Riott's actually good in the ring, and she could cut a decent promo. Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me, but this was absolutely entertaining. I absolutely laughed my ass off when Vicky Guerrero, she just came in with the microphone, started yelling, "Excuse me," in the most cringe-worthy, ear-blood-inducing way possible, generated a bunch of heat like it always does, and she in the end got eliminated by Michelle McCool, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Ruby Riott, all in one group effort. And Carmella was the next entrant, and Carmella actually started yelling in the face of Vicky Guerrero. So Vicky Guerrero took the Money in the Bank briefcase in a spur of anger and actually hit Carmella with it. Carmella, then Natalya came out. And she actually threw her gear onto Carmella. That was actually pretty funny. One thing that I did not like about this Women's Royal Rumble a lot is that why did the women keep rolling out of the ring? So many times in this match, the ring was absolutely empty, but there were like 6 women in this matchup. Like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? Where did all the women go? They would roll out of the ring on such a frequent basis. It was ridiculous. It came off as absolutely ridiculous. But Michelle McCool was eliminated by Natalya. Becky Lynch was then eliminated uneventfully, might I add, by Ruby Riott. The next entrant after Natalya at number 19 was Kelly Kelly, who does not look as good as she used to, but she's still looking pretty damn fine. She's still as terrible inside the ring. The next entrant was Naomi, and we will talk about what she did in this matchup. The entrant after Naomi was Jacqueline, who, I'll tell you, isn't looking as good as she used to. But she got some moves in. She looked actually pretty decent out there. Nia Jax was number 22. Nia Jax had a role to play in this Royal Rumble match. She eliminated Kelly Kelly. She eliminated Ruby Riott. And she also eliminated Naomi, but only after Naomi was actually tossed out by Jax onto a bunch of women who weren't even eliminated because they rolled under the bottom rope to the outside. She got caught, placed on the barricade, walked alongside the barricade, and used the chair like Kofi Kingston did, the announcer's chair, pretty much to get back in the ring. She didn't pogo stick it, but she used it as a little vehicle to get her back onto the ring steps. But she came in literally just to be eliminated by Nia Jax. So that was literally useless. They used Naomi as the Kofi Kingston of this Royal Rumble. The next entrant, I popped huge. Number 23 was Ember Moon. And despite the arm injury, she was in this matchup. So it doesn't look like she's relinquishing the championship anytime soon. After that, it was Beth Phoenix, who had a big stare-off with Nia Jax. That was awesome. It was Beth Phoenix, then the winner, of course, Asuka. Phoenix was eliminated by Natalya, clearly the two best friends. Mickie James, who had a cool stare-off with Trish Stratus. Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Nikki and Brie clearly worked together to eliminate Nia Jax. Mickie James was eliminated by number 30, Trish Stratus. Bayley was eliminated by Sasha Banks, who she was number 29, and Trish Stratus was number 30. And, of course, the final 3, Sasha Banks was eliminated by both the Bellas, and Asuka was the winner. She eliminated both the Bellas to win. And, of course, what happened with Rousey. We talked about all that. So that was pretty much the Royal Rumble. I enjoyed it. I did not like the last moments of that women's match. Did not like how all the women rolled out of the ring all the time. But, I mean, it was decent enough for me. A 6 out of 10 for the Royal Rumble. Not a bad show whatsoever. I give it a thumbs up. They got the winners right. And I like it. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go check out all the other content. Make sure to like, Make sure to comment. Make sure to subscribe, because for now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling. This has been your Royal Rumble review. For now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I will see you next time, right here on Ringside Wrestling.